the dark-skinned daughter of the Queen. In 1660, at the age of 21, Louis XIV married, putting the interests of the state above personal ones. His great love, the lively dark-eyed Maria Mancini, although she came from the Italian nobility, could not become a worthy couple for the King of France. To the misalliance with the woman he loved, he resolutely preferred the Spanish Infanta, whose marriage would have sealed the recently concluded Franco-Spanish peace treaty. Infanta Maria Theresa is also 21 years old. She was Louis XIV's cousin, both on the maternal and paternal side, and did not possess any special advantages, apart from a good disposition. Arriving in France, Maria Theresa tried to become a good queen. She set an example by her own piety, learned the language which, however, she could not fully master, was engaged in charity, and, of course, had to fulfill her destiny by giving her spouse heirs. Meanwhile, it was not easy for her in the new country. The young woman's attachment to her homeland was too strong. She brought with her Spanish habits and did not want to give them up, which only made the French court laugh. These boring and prim ladies, ridiculous buffoons, dwarfs, dogs, hot chocolate. In addition to such a clear commitment to Spanish culture, the Queen could not be forgiven for her accent, her awkwardness in dancing, or her fear of ghosts. The wits said that the Queen was so afraid of spirits that the maid of honor had to hold her hand all night. Even, pausing, they smiled significantly when the king comes to the Queen. The hand of the lady-in-waiting, obviously, did not bother the spouses because already in 1661 an heir was born, the son of Louis, then in 1662, Anna Elizabeth, in 1664, Maria Anna, a little later, Maria Theresa, Philip Charles, Louis Francois. Of the 6 children of the Queen, only one overcame the childhood age, the eldest son. Very little was known about the negative consequences of closely related marriages at that time. Legends, however, say that Queen Maria Theresa had another surviving child, a daughter. According to the legends, Queen Maria Theresa had a daughter who survived. This child turned out to be dark-skinned, which caused shock and scandal in the French court. All the courtiers began to spread gossip and rumors that the Queen had an affair with someone not from the royal family. However, there is no reliable evidence or confirmation of the existence of this daughter. Most likely, this legend arose from distrust and hostility to Queen Maria Theresa, which were spread by the courtiers. The story of the dark-skinned daughter is only a rumor and has no confirmation in historical sources. Despite all the difficulties and dislike she experienced at the French court, Queen Maria Theresa always tried to be a good queen and fulfill her duties. She has contributed to charity and the cultural life of France. However, she was never able to win the love and respect of her husband and courtiers, and her life was full of difficulties and loneliness. The secret origin of Louise Marie Therese of Morat is shrouded in mystery. In the spring of 1665, the first valet of the king, Louis XIV, delivered the girl to the monastery without revealing any details about her birth or parents. No information could shed light on the mystery of her appearance. However, the mystery undoubtedly existed, since the girl, who was so cared for by such an important person in the kingdom, was dark as night. Information about the strange act of the valet leaked outside the monastery and began to spread in society, accompanied by incredible details. Finally, people began to assume that the mysterious child was the daughter of the Queen herself. On November 16, 1664, after a difficult pregnancy and a month ahead of time, Maria Theresa gave birth to her third child, a girl, officially named Maria Anna. However, on December 26, it was announced that the child had died and was buried in the Basilica of St. Denis. But no one believed this tragic statement, as it served only as a cover to hide an alarming fact. The Queen's child was dark-skinned. Doctors and the Queen's entourage tried to drown out rumors about the newborn's skin color, claiming that it was the result of her excessive consumption of hot chocolate, in which she was addicted. It was also suggested that the Queen, who was in a state of pregnancy, was frightened by the look of the page Moore on the wall. King Louis himself remarked on this. Just one look, so he was too perceptive. Soon the unfortunate page, brought as a child as a gift to the queen and raised next to her, disappeared. The girl remained brought up in a monastery. It is believed that she suspected her origin, assuming, however, that she was the daughter of the king himself. When information about the audacious words of the pupil reached the royal family, Madame de Maintenon, who raised the children of royal favorites, was sent to the girl. In 1695, Louis Maria Theresa decided to become a nun. She made a significant contribution to the monastery while receiving a regular pension from the royal family. Surprisingly, this connection between a black nun and the family of King Louis XIV has not stopped. Louis Maria Theresa was visited by many notable people, including Queen Maria Theresa herself and the heir to the throne, Louis. The list of visitors also included many famous people, including Voltaire, who visited it in 1716. This mysterious nun survived the king, queen, and their legitimate children, but in 1730 she passed away. Historical theory. Death of a child. From the coldness and indifference of her spouse, Maria Theresa found solace in gambling. The queen lost large sums at cards. Another hobby was the moor-page, which was presented to Her Highness by the African ambassador. Louis the Great Dauphin, 1661 to 1711, the only surviving legitimate child of Louis XIV by Maria. According to the rumors of the courtiers, one of the deceased children of the queen was born with black skin. Immediately after the birth of the unusual princess, the healer announced her death. "Come out, everyone, baby." Him, she didn't survive. The palace plunged into mourning for the deceased. But Ludovic was not worried about the death of the baby, but about hurt pride. Court doctors tried to find an explanation for the birth of a dark-skinned girl from light parents and to calm the king. Maria Theresa eats a lot of Spanish chocolate. The skin of babies darkens after convulsions. The queen's ancestors were Moors. But none of the versions convinced Louis. But the young Moor page disappeared without a trace from the queen's chambers.